Just wait a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Druid guide video. Before we jump in, I have a quick favor to ask you guys. If you can go down in the comments below and let me know what I can be doing better, improving. I'm trying to make this as clear and concise as possible to help you guys, do this kind of stuff. Granted, this is only a beta, but for the future, it would really help me out if you could take a moment and let me know if you dislike or like anything that I'm doing. It really does, help out, and I'm trying to always improve to make these better. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Just a small little disclaimer here. The footage isn't always going to be matching what I'm talking about. I have tens of hours worth of footage for this build, and I'm constantly trying new things. As you can see, my inventory is completely full of legendaries, constantly trying to figure out exactly what feels the best. So if you see some footage that doesn't match, that is the reason. There will be a final build template towards the end of the video that you guys can follow along with to have a better idea of what I found felt best. Lastly, we will be live at twitch.tv/roundedtictac when this video basically goes live, and possibly on YouTube, so keep your eyes out for that little red dot. Now let's jump into the video. Yesterday, I made a pulverized druid bear. That felt pretty good. I was looking for one specific item for that build. Could not get it to drop. But in the meanwhile, I was able to get the other item that I wanted to drop so I can actually make this build. Because companions for druid, normally without very specific uniques and legendaries, as I keep being told, feels like crap. But with legendaries, specific ones, companion druid actually kind of wrecks, and it might just be the best druid build, like literally not clickbaiting, in the game currently. So for the next day and a half, if you want something to look forward to try to farm, then this might be on that list if you enjoy playing druid. So let's go over the build and exactly what perks we have. I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible, but still be a little beginner friendly and explain everything that's going on. For our basic skill, we're only using Storm Strike. I said yesterday in the video, in my pulverized video, that Storm Strike is hands down the best spirit generator for druid. It holds true to this day. It's been 16 hours. I would hope so. What this does is basically everything. It does AoE damage because it bounces up to 3 times. You gain 25% damage reduction for enemies hit by that. You also immobilize them for 2.6 seconds, which might as well be a stun. And then it also basically is a guaranteed vulnerable for any of the 3 enemies it bounces to. In our build, we kind of have a higher attack speed for one of our rings, but we'll get to the items later. So this is basically a constant vulnerable debuff on every enemy, giving us a bonus 20% extra damage for free. This is definitely the best spirit generation for a druid. Then down here, we are taking 2 points, Heart of the Wild, to increase our maximum spirit, because as you guys know, spirit generation on a druid is dog water. Then this is the important one, Abundance. I really like to put 2 points here, but I'm really trying to stretch the numbers here to get higher damage. 1 feels okay, 2 feels great, 3 feels a little overkill. I would probably put 2 points here, but like I said, a lot of these builds are experimental and constantly changing, but this one I settled on feels really nice. Then down here, we're taking Shred to stick with our wolf theme. Technically, you can grab any skill and max out your core skill. There's a reason we're doing this in the item section, but I like Shred. The poison damage, it fits with the wolves. It's a lot of fun to play with. It's a good ability, period. Like, it's just a decent damn ability. So we went Shred for this one. It also allows us to get a little attack speed and heal ourselves, which is nice. And then the poison dot damage is also really nice to have. Because Shred is an AoE, the last hit, you can just shred a pack of enemies and keep it moving. And that is a decent chunk of damage. 281 will kill the rest of them. Then down here, we have Bloody Howl. Bloody Howl is not needed in this build. You can put points elsewhere. I have it because I have a specific legendary that allows my Bloody Howl to affect my companions and teammates. So we're taking this. Then we have kills reduce the cooldown of Blood Howl. Since we have companions, they're constantly killing the little trash off screen. The cooldown of my Blood Howl sometimes is literally 3 to 5 seconds. It feels quite nice. We don't need the extra spirit generation because we grabbed the point up there, so we're going for the increased attack speed. Down here are the companion tree, which is kind of where things get a little interesting. We have 6 out of 5 points here. The scaling doesn't seem to be worth it, even though I can put more points in here because I have item contribution 3. It doesn't seem worth it. The scaling is just bad. 59 to 63 damage is terrible. So instead, we chose to just keep it at 6 and go into the second one, which increases 20% damage for our werewolves to immobilize targets. Since our Storm Strike immobilizes, they're almost constantly getting that 20% damage boost. And then when you critically strike, your wolves gain 20% attack speed as well. Again, one of our items is going to help with this. And so are our ravens. Ravens then increase critical strike chance, and then 2 extra ravens. This again feeds into a legendary item. Lastly, Call of the Wild. I almost messed it up again. Call of the Wild increases our bonus damage from our companions by 20%. I don't think it works, personally. So you can take this out if you want to. Max out ravens, max out wolves, put it elsewhere. I'm pretty sure this isn't working. Every time I put a point in this, all of my stats stay the same. Maybe it's a bug on paper, like just on the skill tree, and it works in game. That's usually what happens with ARPGs, but it might just not be working. And then lastly, we took our last point and put it into Lacerate. 2040 damage isn't a shit ton, but for a single target 1 button click on a boss, it feels kind of good. So we just went with Lacerate to have another skill. I figure 1 point here is better than 1 point here to go from 59 to 63. So that is what we did. That is the entire build. Again, at the end of the video, there will be a build guide. Let's talk about the important legendaries that make this build actually work. I have never played a game where this is an issue. For some reason, when I open my inventory, my computer starts lagging. It is such a weird thing that I don't know. But let's go over the important ones in the build. Our head, chest, and pants are just the perks on these. You get as many points into the skills that you want, but these are all defensive perks. There's nothing here that we really care about too much. The gloves, weapon, and our rings and amulets are the important ones. Our gloves. Core skills deal additional 8 damage for each active companion. So it doesn't mean passive. I don't know exactly how this works. Let's test it real quick. If it means active, if I use my skill, does this go up? It still doesn't go up. So I'm not sure exactly how that works. I have 4 ravens down and 3 wolves. This should be much higher than 464, and it's not. I don't know if this is working as intended either. There seems to be some sort of disconnect between companions and increased damage. But on the same token, if it did work, it'd probably be best in slot, and I don't really have anything better. If I didn't have this, I would probably try to get that one where you do increase damage based on the reserve of your spirit or energy, mana, whatever it is. And then down here, this is the very important one. Your wolf companions are now werewolf companions, dealing 180%, and they deal rabies too. This is very important because our rabies counts for some of our AoE. In the original build for this, I had rabies on the build, but again, rabies feels kind of weak, so I took it off for the ultimate. On our necklace, this is another perfect roll, I believe. +1 rank to all companion skills. Gain 1 additional companion. In addition, your companion skills deal 225% bonus damage. There was a version of this build where I went Vine Creeper and basically maxed it out, and it would one-shot entire rooms. That felt great, but it kind of sucks on bosses, so we didn't stick with it. Then down here, we have increase your basic skills by 27% attack speed. This just makes the build feel better. There's probably a better slot for this for your rings. Maybe Shred does lightning damage, which is anyway. This just makes, I'm telling you, get this perk. It makes everything feel so much better. And then down here, we have Blood Howl increases critical strike chance by 8%. In addition, Blood Howl also affects nearby companions and players for 3 seconds. So that is the entire build, everything working together as it should. And as you guys can see in the footage, the build actually kind of slaps. I've been really enjoying this build a lot, and there's not much else to say. Druid is in a bit of a rough spot. We all know that. But for the moment, this build is definitely what I'm going to be running for the rest of the thing. But I don't think I need any more gear for this character anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. It's probably going to be more of an in-depth kind of breakdown of the beta. Not really my opinion, because nobody really cares, but the problems at the base core of the game is something I definitely want to cover, especially being a main of the weaker 2 classes in the game. I feel like that would be a really fun thing to do. So hopefully I will see you guys then. If you can check me out, twitch.tv/roundedtictac. We would love to see you there at any time, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great one. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Tic Tac out.